Hallelujah.
Chúa ở cùng ông bà và anh chị em
và ở cùng Cha.
Tin mừng Đức Giêsu Kitô theo Thánh Luca.
Lạy Chúa, vinh danh Chúa.
A man in the crowd said to Jesus, Master, tell my brother to give me a share of our inheritance. My friend, he replied, who appointed me your church, or the arbitrator of your claims? Then he said to them, watch and be on your guard against avarice of any kind. For a man's life is not made secure by what he owns, even when he has more than he needs. Then he told them a parable. There was once a rich man who, having had a good harvest from his land, thought to himself, what am I to do? I have not enough room to store my crops. Then he said, this is what I will do. I will pull down all my barns and build bigger ones, and store all my grain and my goods in them. And I will say to my soul, I have plenty of good things laid by for many years to come. Take things easy. Eat, drink, have a good time. But God said to him, fool, this very night the demands will be made for your soul, and this house of yours, whose will it be then? So is he when a man stores up treasure for himself in place of making himself rich in the sight of God. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Kính thưa ông bà và anh chị em, hôm nay cho phép con chia sẻ đặc biệt với các em thiếu nhi tiếng Anh mà phần Gospel Message Today về gọi là phù vâng, sẽ trở về phù vâng, làm lụng vất vả mọi thứ hay là lo lắng mọi điều, rồi đến một lúc phù vâng sẽ trở về phù vâng. Thì bài đọc 1 cũng như bài tin mừng ông bà anh chị em đã nghe nhiều năm, thì cho con được phép chia sẻ với các em một thứ. Some days ago on Facebook, I saw a picture with a title, A Trap of Leisure. Nó gọi là, cái hình này không con chỉ trên đây, gọi là có một sự cạm bẫy mang tên nhàn hạ. Sự cạm bẫy mang tên nhàn hạ, tiếng Anh dịch translated, A Trap of Leisure. And on the left of the picture, is here a little thin rat, một con chuột nhỏ, was on the top of the big jar with full of rice. And the rat looked so relaxing and seemed really enjoy his food. He might have been staying in the jar and eating rice every day. However, on the right side of the picture, there was also the same rat, but he looked fat and tired. Especially, he was in the bottom of the big jar, and the jar was empty rice. And I thought, after ate all the rice in the big jar, the rat was getting so fat and moved so slowly, and he couldn't climb up and was stuck in the bottom of the jar. That image, probably, or I myself, I named that picture A Trap of Leisure. The message of Peter, as I mentioned, I pick up the message, that's one. So, dear friends, the gospel message today, or all the reading today, like the question of where to find true happiness and deep inner peace. Or what is the importance of life? What's the importance of life? Điều gì quan trọng nhất trong cuộc sống của chúng ta? Hay là đâu là hạnh phúc thực đối với mỗi người chúng ta? Where to find true happiness and deep inner peace? Unfortunately, a rich person or a rich man in the gospel today was wrong when he thinks the true happiness and inner peace. I think he's wrong. And because he behaved exactly the same with the rats, as I mentioned on the picture, a trap of leisure, the rich person thought to himself, or the rich man thought to himself, my soul, you have plenty of good things laid for by many years to come. Take things easy. Eat, think, drink, have a pleasure and a good time. Một cạm bẫy của sự nhàn hạ. Đầy đủ mọi thứ rồi. Get rich. Trong ngân hàng có nhiều số không quá. Good plenty money in the bank account, or the rich, the beautiful house. Relax. Một sự nhàn hạ. Một cạm bẫy của sự nhàn hạ. Hoặc đôi khi một cạm bẫy của sự làm việc lam lục, cũng có thể làm việc lam lục mọi thứ để tìm được gì. Anyway, that's the pleasure of, the trap of leisure. And the men in the gospel, as I mentioned, how had rich, drink, and had a good time. Why have to work hard? Why? And the rich person in the gospel today may remind us the story of the rich man. I remember some weeks ago, a rich man who asked Jesus what he must to do inherit the kingdom of God. And when Jesus told him to sell everything he has and give to the poor, and you know, the young man answered, no, he goes away, and because he possesses a lot of things. In that way, someone said that, with wealth or become rich, we shall not go hungry or thirsty. We shall have a good fruit over our heads. We shall gain influence and power. We are more likely to have good health, a long life, and enjoy the best life has to offer. Therefore, wealth seems to be the most obvious source of security. And most people are trying to work hard in order to achieve this kind of wealth. I think difference, ông bà anh chị em, every one of us here, we try to do that one. Get rich, even become the millionaire, have the beautiful house. And in that way, let me remember, gọi là cái bức thang của sự cần thiết. We call look back the pyramid needs of, we call the hierarchy needs of Abraham Maslow. You know, some of you may heard that one. Abraham Maslow in 1943. And that's the way people want to reach the top of their needs. The top of their needs expectation. And we can see on the top of level of needs, it's the self-fulfillment needs. In here, that's that kind of the hierarchy, the needs, hierarchies needs. Maybe can't see here, but next time maybe show on the screen, everyone can see. And you know the basic gọi là cái sự, tiếng Việt chúng ta gọi ăn ngon mặc ấm. Ăn ngon mặc ấm, rồi sau đến ăn no mặc ấm, rồi ăn ngon mặc đẹp. Rồi sau đến sự khẳng định về safety, gọi là có nhiều tiền của, có nhiều vàng bạc hay là diamond, không biết để chỗ đâu rồi. Concern for the safety, security, để chỗ nào. Rồi đến cái nấc thang chút xíu nữa, how can our position, là gọi là cái belongingness of love and needs. So the next time, sorry, I talk. Các em thiếu nhi. The first, the basic needs, physical needs like food, water, warmth, and rest. And the second, to the safety needs, security, safety. And then come to the higher level, belongingness and love needs. And then the fourth, esteem needs. And the last one, self-actualization. I call Abraham Maslow, many years ago, he wrote that one. And everyone, I think, everyone will try to achieve that one. It's normal, nothing wrong, but alert, careful, as in a trap of leisure, một sự cạm bẫy của sự nhàn hạ. So different. Is it good to be rich and wealth? Because it is a gift. Is it a gift? However, as Jesus today mentioned or reminds us, for a person's life is not made secure by what he owns, even when he has more than he needs. Vanity of vanities. Phù vân không chỉ là phù vân. 72 năm, cha Francis. A little bit example for remind us our life. Có người sống 95 năm như ông Trần Đức Tin chúng ta mấy tuần trước chúng ta dự lễ tang. Yes, vanities of vanities. A man who has labored wisely, skillfully, and successfully must leave what is his own to someone who has not toiled for it at all. So because of that difference, become rich. Yes, very good. But in the sight of God, whatever we drink, we eat, in the glorified of God, we rich or poor, in the sight of God. Because in the sight that we will know how to love God and living a life of generosity to others. Become rich in the sight of God. Now we know how to love and serve God and to live in the life of generosity to others. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Của cải của anh chị em ở đâu thì tâm hồn của chúng ta ở đó. Vậy thì đâu là điều quan trọng nhất trong cuộc sống chúng ta? Vậy đâu là hạnh phúc đích thực trong hành trình làm người, làm con Chúa? What is important of life? What is true happiness? Graduates at school get the highest level or degrees. Have a boyfriend, girlfriend, handsome and rich and beautiful, and then get married, have a family, have some children, vợ đẹp con khôn, chồng ngoan, con khôn. Family, children, beautiful family, and then they can get higher salary, a beautiful house. It's very good, very good. But careful, what teacher says, one day, we don't know what happened. Vanities of vanity. So where is my treasure? Where is my life that I really value? Just that two questions. Two questions maybe each of us. You two different. Firstly, where is my treasure? What is it in my life that I really value? Or what is important of life? And what is true happiness? Maybe too early to question ourselves about that one, but maybe also the good thing Jesus in the gospel today reminds us. A trap of leisure and một sự cạm bẫy của sự nhàn hạ.